Hello, my name is Woo Jung Ho.
Korean's okay.
Hello, my name is Woo Jung Ho. Nice to meet you.
Hey Nukenites, it's Nuke, back with another charity comm. This one is for James Faber, who actually at first recommended an entirely different video, but unfortunately the resolution, the quality on that one was like Game Boy camera-esque. So he said, you know what, Nuke, just pick whatever you want. Let mine be the wild card, I believe were his exact words. So this is the game I have chosen. This is the 2008-2009 Shinhan Bank Proleague, a match between SK Telecom T1 and KTF MagicNs. Violet versus Bisu on Neo Medusa. Now the reason I have chosen this game is because of Violet. Violet is a Protoss player on KTF MagicNs, later KT Rolster, who unfortunately died of leukemia in August of 2012. He was 23 years old when that happened. So this is a few years before that, but he was a very consistent player throughout his career. And I wanted to do a bit of a memorial cast for him, because I never really got a chance to do that. Except, let's get the colors. That'll be very important in the mirror matchup. But up here at the 10 o'clock position in orange is Bisu. That means down at the 7 o'clock position in yellow is Violet. Oh, how I wish he was the purple color. Oh well. Like I said, I wanted to give a bit of a tribute to Violet, who was always a very good player, and, well, let's talk about Violet a little bit. Like I said, he died of an acute form of leukemia in 2012. I believe his last televised game was 2011, maybe the very beginning of 2011. I know in his last week or two, he beat Jaedong and Calm right before he got diagnosed with leukemia and had to go to the hospital, I guess for the next year and a half. Which was, you know, a major bummer, especially he was so optimistic about the whole process. I read interviews with him, and he ended up talking to Team Liquid, gave an interview to Team Liquid, and he brought the community together. And I don't just say that as a foreign fan looking, you know, over to Korea. He didn't just bring Koreans together, he brought the entire community to get together. Because I'm thinking back to a Team Liquid thread started by the user NeverGG. She was a photographer for OGN in Korea. She's a foreign, I think, English? I'm not sure if I got that right. Pretty sure she was from the UK, who went over to Korea to do photography for OGN. She was very entrenched in the scene, and did a lot of great things by acting as kind of a middlewoman, I guess, for foreign fans and the players in Korea. She started a thread on Team Liquid called Project Messages for Violet when he was in the hospital. So basically in this thread, you can go back and look at it on Team Liquid, everyone, like the whole community basically got together to write get well messages for Violet. And this was turned into not just a card, but a book, a get well book, full of messages from the community to Violet. And I actually wrote one of those. I had to do some digging through Team Liquid, but here's the message I wrote to Violet. I hope he eventually got to read this. But, was that NeverGG right there? That might have actually been NeverGG on your screen. Weird. But, here's the message I wrote. This is 25-year-old Baby Nuke writing this. Name, Nuke, country, USA. I would say good luck, but you don't need it. You're freaking Violet. After you beat the illness, come back and win 7 straight Star Leagues. course, it's a little bit of a bummer reading that, knowing what happens to Violet. But you just see so much positivity from that thread that was later put into this book that he got to read in the hospital that lifted his spirits. And I guess that had a big impact on him because he ended up coming over to Team Liquid and, like, answering fan questions. He made an account on Team Liquid. That guy right there. His account, I believe, is KT Violet, KT Space Violet. And he just came onto Team Liquid and started answering fan questions. He didn't have to do that. So, yeah, Violet just had such a big impact, even though he wasn't even playing at that time. Just shows you what kind of a great guy he was. And I just mentioned that he beat Jaedong and Calm right before he left, so he's obviously had a ton of potential. He just kept a very consistent high level of play. So I wanted to definitely pay tribute to him, because Violet was one of the better Protoss players like that I ever saw. I never really got to commentate much on him because he never made a big splash in the OSL. I think he was one of these players. There are a few of these in the scene, a few of these in any esports scene, who plays mostly for their friends. He always performed better in Pro League than he did in individual leagues. But they're his pals right now looking on. I haven't really kept up with this game much. Sorry guys, I haven't really been commentating. So let's do a little bit of that. You know, the Dragoon range spinning up there for Bisu. Violet's still in here getting a scout. I can't believe they kept the colors orange and yellow. Come on. Come on, guys. Oh boy. It's okay. Let's get an idea of the tech before I talk about Violet a little bit more. This is the observatory coming up, actually, for Bisu. That was not a scout behind his base. With these colors, it's kind of hard to tell, guys. But I believe the Dragoon range is done for Bisu. It's probably done for Violet down there as well. Let's see if either of the guys has started their next base yet. Nice line of Dragoons there. Look how straight of a line that is. But there's the second base coming up now for Violet, as Bisu was putting down a lot more gateways. Let's see if we went for the quad damage build, actually. Robotic support bay coming up. And the robotic support bay coming up for Violet on the other side as well. But the difference here is Violet is focusing on his economy a bit before Bisu. Bisu has some troops out. A couple of gateways, focusing on the troops before anything else. Before his second base, so Violet's going to be pressured soon, I would say. Violet has some Dragoons out in the map, kind of chasing around the observer. Well, you know, he can't chase it around unless he has his own observer in to see it. But he's getting the full scout and everything, the shuttle coming into play. Now, let me be clear that I don't know who wins this game. I chose it for a few reasons. One, because of the length. Like a 20-minute game, you know there's not going to be one player playing bad or anything. So I don't think that Violet, even if he loses to Bisu, I don't think he's going to play this one poorly. Another reason is, you know, there's no shame in losing to Bisu, so I think it would still be a great tribute video, even if he loses to Bisu here. And if this is a poor quality game, I'm not going to upload it. So if you're watching it right now, you know it's going to be a good game. But a shield battery out for Violet. Oh, got to hold that front. Because Bisu just started his second base, but he's going to apply a lot of pressure soon with his Reavers. Oh, Scarab landing on all those troops right there. Going for the Nexus here, but Violet's own Reaver in. Getting a big Scarab shot on most of those Dragoons, I think. Oh, that one Reaver went down for Bisu. I just knocked my pop filter into the microphone there, but oh, the Reaver's going down on both sides. Violet getting forced back here. He gets the fall back to the Reaver, though. That Reaver just now getting Scarabs on it. Not sure how much that shield battery helped Violet here, since he just got grinded down so quickly by Bisu's force. But it looks like Bisu is backing off for now. I guess going to wait until he gets his own Reaver back into the field. Because Violet's Reaver, I think, is just crawling over to that second base. Yep, that Reaver just now getting into a defensive position next to the second base. And Bisu just now starting his second base. So he is economically behind. And he didn't get a whole lot of damage to Violet's second base. But let's see what's happening. Third base coming down for Violet now, so he is staying ahead of Bisu in economy, that's for sure. Bisu maybe should have gone a bit more all-in with that aggressive attack, throwing down a couple more gateways perhaps. Just go for the quad damage build. You know how much I love that build. It's so good. Plus I get to play the sound from Quake whenever it's used. Quad damage. And that was a very poor imitation. But, okay. Some more scouting coming in. Looks like things have calmed down a bit. Violet sent a little test troop out into the middle of the map, making sure that Bisu wasn't out there or anything. But Bisu is playing defensively now as well, which is questionable, seeing as though how far behind he is in economy. But he could be cooking up a little plan here. He needs to do some harassment, that's for sure. He can't let Violet build up his economy this much ahead of Bisu. But Violet is actually the one picking up his Reavers now. He might go out for harassment, or he might just ferry everything into the middle. But here comes Bisu. Bisu is moving down into the middle of the map now with a ton of Dragoons. Actually, I'm not sure exactly how much Dragoons are supposed to weigh canonically. So one Dragoon might weigh a ton. So this might be 14 tons of Dragoons moving down the map, coming straight for the front again. But now Bisu is going to try to rely on his epic Reaver micro. And Bisu has always had some of the best micro of any Protoss player. Maybe just Stork would be better in the shuttle department. Stork's had such innovative shuttle micro. There are very few Protoss players that were on Stork's level as far as that goes. But this is the other side of Bork. You know Bisu is going to put up a great fight when it comes to micro. Ooh, a nice position pylon there. Got the scout on that shuttle that was trying to come down for some harassment. So Bisu forced to kind of back off for now. I believe he still has the shuttle just above that second base for Violet, just hanging out, waiting for an opportunity. Maybe just within the pylon's range. That would give me the willies if I was in Violet's position. But Violet still ahead in economy. Third base just now coming down for Bisu, I think. I think he just transferred over with probes for that. Citadel of Adun coming up for Bisu. Going to be working on the Templar soon, either for storm drops or the sneaky Dark Templar drops. But he's coming down here. Oh, there's Bisu. 2 Reavers in to blast the economy for Violet. Only gets a few probes in that, so not an entirely successful attack. But any kind of economic damage is what Bisu is looking for. He just needs to grind down that economy a bit so he can get back in this game, because he's definitely behind at this point. Let's see, where did that shuttle go? I think the shuttle went to... Is that the shuttle on the right side of the map? Not exactly sure. Yep, there goes the shuttle up there. Just doing a bit of additional scouting. Not sure if he actually saw the probe in the pylon up there. But it looks like Violet just positioned that pylon for scouting purposes, making sure that Bisu wouldn't go up there. I'm surprised that the shield battery is still intact. But that would definitely help if Bisu decides to attack again. Yeah, just that scouting pylon up there. Let's see what's going on. Bisu just playing defensively here for now, until he gets the Templar out, I think. No, wait, he's coming down for some harassment. I think he'll commit to it this time, especially since the army is just now moving away, just now moving back, though. So it looks like that Star Sense might have kicked in for Violet. Oh, just dropping the Reaver. Oh, dud Scarab. That was completely unsuccessful drop from Bisu. But you see Bisu's just now moving down. Oh, just lost that Reaver. That could make all the difference with these mirror matchups. The huge armies coming in for both. You see, this is why Protoss versus Protoss was always my favorite mirror matchup. Is the big engagements in the middle. Looks like we're going to see one soon, since Violet pressing Bisu back to his base. Not sure if Bisu is going to hold his ground or not, especially considering he just lost a Reaver, so he might feel like he's behind in that too. But some reinforcements coming out for Bisu. Looks like he is going to hold his ground right outside the natural. Fins Violet back for now. Yeah, Violet not feeling like he has enough to attack just yet. But look at this huge army from Bisu. The macro from Bisu is insane. He always had some of the highest APM of any Protoss player. Might still have the highest APM. He is still active in the Brood War scene, I know that. I'm probably just making big bucks on Africa, of all things. That's where the players tend to put their time these days, but oh, another harassment, this time from Violet. Another dud Scarab, I think, though. First person view from Violet. You see he's putting down another base down there at the 5 o'clock. I was looking in a mirror there for a second, sorry about that. But ooh, another drop, harassment drop behind Bisu's third base here, right above his main. Yeah, some more shuttles coming in from Bisu now to play the defensive. But with all these shuttles out, we should be seeing much more harassment from Bisu on Violet. There's a cannon just to protect that second base. In case of this, Bisu coming down right now with everything to harass this base. Kind of blocked in there by that cannon, though. That was good positioning from Violet, just keeping too much from happening there. But the Dark Templar now from Bisu trying to sneak in. But there are no cannons for the detection, so it's going to have to be an observer who finds that Dark Templar. There comes Bisu. Oh, getting stormed, actually, from Violet. That was a kind of a clutch storm there. Takes out the shuttle. I'm not even sure if there was anything in that shuttle. Could have possibly been the Reavers if Bisu had the presence of mind to pick those up during that harass. So just, I think Violet's just chipping away at Bisu, but now Bisu's trying to jump ahead in economy, and he'll be able to do it if he can protect these new bases that it looks like he's putting up. He would put up at least one new base up at the 2 o'clock position. But what was Violet doing over there? Not sure, but this is a big, huge attack from both players in the middle of the huge storm of all the Zealots at the front line. So I think it's going to be mostly Dragoons that finish this out. Reavers crawling down for Bisu. There is no shuttle support from Bisu on the other side, so the Reavers are crawling very slowly to this engagement. That could make all the difference in the world. But it looks like Bisu still had a ton of Dragoons out, but those are being melted now. They were all very, very weak, so just a few hits take most of them down. But now the Reavers crawling into place, going to allow Bisu to hold a little bit longer here. But the Reavers, caught out in no man's land. Scarabs everywhere. And just dropping the Scarabs, some successful Scarabs from Bisu, but he lost all of his Reavers in that attack. It looks like, yeah, some reinforcements just now coming out for Violet. They can support a bit more on the reinforcement front than Bisu can, economically speaking. But now Bisu's coming down, going to try to destroy this base down at the 5 o'clock position. Doesn't have a whole lot. Yeah, no defenses down there for Violet. It looks like he's not pulling over to that position to protect it either. So it looks like he's going to lose that base. So Bisu could be clawing back into this game, but here comes some Reavers for more harassment from Violet. He's going to try to destroy Bisu's base behind his main, but that's going to be easier said than done. Some more storming at the front. Both players, just some micro engagements from them in the middle. Not nearly as big of an engagement as earlier. But the base from Violet at the 5 o'clock going to go down. There weren't really any resources he could commit to protecting that. And now Bisu trying to get his economy back up. Just now coming up with that second base. That's later than I thought it would be, actually. Maybe Bisu put the pylon there first, and I saw that on the minimap. But Violet, he still amassed quite a few Dragoons. He kept most of those Dragoons alive during that whole craziness in the middle, it looks like. So the army for Violet's still quite large, and he has his Reavers just mowing through everything at that base behind the main. No probes left there mining. So I'd say both players actually on pretty even keel now in terms of economy. Violet trying to come back. Oh, he has Dark Templar. Did not expect that. It looks like Bisu didn't as well. He doesn't really have any detection, so that next is going to go down quickly. Dark Templar are incredibly powerful. One of the most powerful units in the game. One might argue the best unit in the game, since you can't even see the little bastards as they're destroying you with their warp blades. But some more storms now from Bisu. Looks like he might have wasted those storms, though. The main army just now joining up. With the army at the front for Violet. So Violet's army is now huge, since Bisu kind of just wasted those storms at the front. I guess didn't waste. He was trying to whittle down what he thought was the threat. But the main threat coming from the rear, oh man. Now the Dark Templar is snuck inside Bisu's main. Going to try to destroy all of his tech buildings. But oh man, this is a crazy game. Looks like Violet has brought it back again. Bringing it to the natural expansion now with his main army as he just destroys everything with Dark Templar inside the main. Oh, look at that look of concentration from Violet. You can tell he was playing his heart out right here. Oh man, GG from Bisu. That was a great game, actually. No way that I'm not going to upload that one. And Violet won, so this is like the perfect tribute. Oh, so good. I love PvP so much. Definitely my favorite mirror matchup. TVT could always be pretty fun, but you know, you can't beat good old-fashioned PvP. That mascot is going to give me nightmares. But congrats to Violet for that, and all the wins that he had throughout his career. I mean, even though Violet is no longer with us, he did some pretty cool stuff, man. You know, being a pro gamer, pretty damn cool. Not going to be forgotten for that anytime soon. So, rest in peace, Woo Jung Ho, and thank you for all of the excellent StarCraft. Says Banuk. I will move on to another charity con soon.